they pick up stuff, and we get donations from other folks throughout the city, and we try to pass those things along to people that are looking for a fishing pole.
Well, like I said, I've been friends with Kurt for a long time since we started the show. He's always on. So just my gift to you guys, you can have this stuff, and I'll only charge you half price.
Oh, that's great.
Now, it's all yours. Enjoy.
That's great. Thank you very much.
No problem. So let's talk a little bit about this fishing derby that's going on tomorrow.
This is our 34th year that we've been holding a fishing derby, and we used to have them out at Salisbury Park. And once, Discovery Park was built, we moved it into town here. But we've always had a lot of the same events going on. Part of it's kind of an educational program, and we'll have kids in groups to go learn about fish identification. The DNR will be there from the hatchery with some live fish. Our game warden, Joe Fordyce, will be there, and he'll be talking about basic rules and regulations. If you haven't met Joe, this is a good time to meet him and say hi. And
I've talked to him. I've talked to him on the phone. He's the new one that took over for Tom Campo since he retired. I've talked to him a couple times on the phone. He's actually supposed to do a show here, but he said he was kind of busy with moving and all that, and getting used to the area and all that.
Well, you mentioned that the fishing is picking up. His workload is picked up too.
Right.
So he'll be there. Melissa's going to be doing a little education station on basic fishing. She's going to have the kids. And it sounds simple, but we find a lot of kids that aren't sure how to do it. But putting on bobbers and adjusting bobbers and talking about why we use bobbers, and then we're going to teach them a real simple fishing knot, a hook knot. So and we have a way they can practice that as well.
Right, and that's the thing too with this. It's also educational as well as entertaining in that. Yep. And there are a lot of kids that a lot of parents. I have it coming in the shop all the time, but you guys have been doing this fishing derby for a while, and I think it's a great thing. I went down last year, and let me tell you what, I kicked the snot out of them children. I mean, I had 20 fish before they even had one.
It's because you took them from them.
They didn't know how to put the worm on it, push them in the water. So, they learned an important lesson that day. If you don't come to win, don't show up.
That's right.
So, hopefully, I'll be busy tomorrow, so I won't be able to be there this time. But no, actually, we're making quite a bit of fun. But I do think it's tremendous if we can offer this to, like I said, for a lot of parents that aren't maybe versed into fishing, this or that. Yes. This is a good opportunity. I think you guys also run another program called Fishing 101 or Fishing Basics. Was supposed to be last week, but there was a family emergency that kind of got postponed.
Melissa, do you want to talk a little bit about some of your fishing programs? Because that's kind of what Melissa does.
Yep. We're going to have a bunch of programs this summer doing Fishing Basics. That's basically what the elementary fishing is for part of it tomorrow. But the Fishing Basics, it's going to be putting bobber on, putting a sinker on, putting a hook on, and then actually baiting the hook, how to cast, just pretty much Fishing Basics is what it is. And then also there's going to be some old-time fishing using the cane poles at several of our parks, and then also just regular fishing with a rod and a reel. And then just besides fishing, we'll also have some archery programs this summer and showing the live animals, also talking about some furs that we would find from the animals we would find in Iowa. Also water testing. We're just having a lot of summer programs.
A lot of stuff going on. That's fantastic. When do you, now that you guys are heavy into fishing and that, when do you teach them to lie? Because that's an important part of fishing is to lie. I mean, that's what happens in my shop.
Maybe the conservation officer has to cover that, because I'm sure he hears a few over the summer. No, that's always fun to, we talk about that, how every time you tell your fish story, your hands get further apart when you show people how
me and my buddy we went out to Salisbury here last week during the holiday weekend. There was a guy, God bless his heart, he was saying, "Hey, you guy from the radio?" "Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I caught a bass." And he's like, "Oh," I was like, "If you caught a bass like that, buddy, you'd be on National Geographic and you'd have letters all over." But anyway, talking about lion fishermen, I think we have Randy Brewer on the phone.
Well, that's one thing I was going to say is that you have to watch those tape measures that Jerry sells. They're not Correct.
They're not standard.
They're not standard.
Oh,
They're
wow.
metric.
They're metric. That's right.
They're fishermen's
Yep,
tape
yep,
measures.
Yeah. Okay. Who's on the phone here?
You Randy, we got you on the phone today?
Whoop. Try this one. There we go.
We got you, Randy?
Hello?
Oh, no. Who's this?
Hey, it's Havana, man.
Oh, Havana, Montana. How are you doing, my friend?
Oh, man, I'm doing good. It's a beautiful day. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. Hey, I got some news for you.
Oh, yeah? What's up, Havana?
Well, I'm talking to my guys over in Tampa Bay,
Uh-huh.
and they say you got no worries about nothing from your trip, man. They're going to take care of the horse and the girl and the ice machine and everything, so you no worry.
Oh, okay.
Nobody knows nothing.
Okay, you could have kind of messaged that to me on Facebook, Havana, but that's fine.
I figure I'd tell you now before anybody's listening, man. You know?
Okay, thank you, Havana. I appreciate having a friend down there in Tampa.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Last time I talked to you, you had mentioned something about you made a gun and a fishing pole. How's that going?
You know, man. You know what I gone and done and did?
What did you done and did?
You know how I like to hunt and fish at the same time?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I take my gun, and on top of it, I put on a fishing pole. So I got 2 triggers. So you cut the first trigger, and I shoot out the fishing line with the hook, and then you press it, and I come back, and you just shoot a fish. But I messed up on the first one, man. I put the pole on backwards, and I pulled the trigger, and I hooked myself in the mouth.
Oh, that is terrible. That is terrible.
Yeah, kind of sore. But it's gonna be okay. You can sell it at your place.
I could sell. Well, I'd have to get an FFL license and that because it is a firearm. So.
Oh yeah, man, that's okay. I live in Florida, man. FLA, you know, it's okay to get one out.
Oh, no.
That's good. That's all right.
Okay.
Just got to go down to the post office and get Jerry's picture off the wall, right?
There we go. But anyway, Havana, up here this weekend, we're having a big fishing derby.
A derby?
Yeah, fishing derby.
Derby?
Yeah, fishing derby.
Wow. You know, I went to the Kentucky bar. You got some big fish, man, if you're going to have people riding on the fish for a derby.
No.
Can I place a bet?
No, man.
Bring plenty of ice.
They don't ride the fish. They fish for them. It's a fishing derby. It's not like the Kentucky Derby. It's not a horse race. Our fish aren't big enough for the children to ride.
You haven't fished around the power plant, have you?
I call my friend, my friend Manny the Toad. He work over at SeaWorld, man. I can call him and I can come up with a whole bunch of dolphins if you want, so everybody can ride a dolphin.
Well, I don't know about riding dolphins up here because
that's big fish.
Yeah, they're a big fish, but actually they're a mammal. They're not classified as a fish, and they have to be in salt water, and we don't have salt water up here. We just have fresh water.
Mammal? What you mean mammal? Mammal got hair, man, like a monkey. There ain't no hair on no fish.
Dolphins are mammals. I swear. Google it up.
Well, I put them in look, I got a big truck. I fill it with water. I put them in there, and I'll bring them up to you.
Well, like I said, Havana, the problem with that is that we don't have salt water. We have fresh water up here.
You got a grocery store?
Yeah, we got grocery stores.
Well, you'll just go to a grocery store and buy a whole bunch of sea salt, man, and we'll put it in there. It'll be okay.
I don't know about fresh water. Apparently, he hasn't drank the water out of the river, has he?
Well, I don't think that'll work, Havana.
Okay, well, I tell you, I'll do it if you want me to, man.
Okay.
It's no big deal.
I think we'll hold that off till later on this summer.
I got to tell. Hey, Alfie, they got fish up there you can ride for a derby, man.
No, we don't have fish you can ride. A derby's a different thing, Havana.
Okay.
All right?
Okay, so how you doing, man? How you been?
I'm doing pretty good, bud, but I got some guests in here today. I'd like to get back talking to them if you don't mind.
Yeah, I heard them talking about making some kind of hook knot or something. I got a friend. He's a real experienced hook knots and stuff.
Okay.
People all the time.
All right. Well, you know what? I appreciate you calling in, Havana. I know my sponsor loves you. One of my sponsors is Sicilian, and they love you.
Well, that's good, man. Well, hey, good luck with AA, okay? You keep on going.
Okay. Thank you, Havana.
Okay. Hey, I'll talk to you later, man.
Have a great day, my friend.
You too, man. Bye.
Okay. Hey, you're on with Jerry's Bait and Tackle Outdoor Show. We're going to slide into a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
The place where he was born and raised.
Sounds like a place to fish or baiting down at the bottoms. This is Randy Brewer from the Outback Bait and Tackle Shop. When you're ready to go fishing, to hit the river and local fishing holes, come and see me. I've been fishing our local areas for over 40 years. I'll be able to set you up with the right bait and tackle for our fishing holes in the area. I'll even throw in some of my experience fishing advice. So before you head out to your fishing hole, come see me at the RB's Outback Bait and Tackle, located 16114 County Road X61 here in Muscatine. Call me at 563-506-0490. Sign says 9 to 5. Call anytime after. We'll get your bait.
Let the Sicilian Pizzeria of Wilton treat your family to dinner tonight. Their dough is made fresh every day with only the freshest ingredients, so you're guaranteed to taste the difference. Offering classic specialty pizzas like Sammy the Bull, the Palermo, the Gladiator, the German, the Viagra, and many more. Try one of their killer subs, calzones, or pasta dishes if you're looking for something different. Make sure you start your meal off with one of their mouth-watering appetizers, Asiago tomatoes, cheesy garlic bread, or their famous seafood bruschetta. Call the Sicilian Pizzeria in Wilton for pickup or delivery today. 563-732-9396. Open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m.
All right, we are back. We just have tons and tons to go over with. You know, we've been kicking this around. Well, I've been kicking it around. I think we really have to start going to an hour format when we get into the summertime because we have just got so much to cover, and I don't want to shortchange people. I know they'd probably like it if I went to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You know,
Make a show out of Hannah Montana.
Havana, Montana might be coming up and have his own thing, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
You know
That
what
might
I'm
be
saying?
entertaining.
I'm trying to tell you something, man. But anyway, like I said, I have my guest in here, Dave Bakke. You're a naturalist, and I appreciate you wearing clothes. I know you naturalists usually like to go around.
Oh,
naked.
not that kind of natural.
Oh, not so. You will have clothes on tomorrow for the
Yes,
kids. Okay.
yeah.
All right. And we have you. You're basically an intern, correct?
Basically.
Basically. Well, you know, and this is the field that you want to go into is conservation.
I'm studying elementary education with a science endorsement, so
Hey,
teaching science.
You can't get any better than elementary education right here, can you?
Yep.
Anyway, let's get on a little bit with the Derby tomorrow. What times are those, and what can we expect?
The Derby is going to start at about 10:45. At 9 o'clock, we'll do our little education rotations, and then we pass out a lot of our door prizes. And then kids are welcome to stay for the Derby. There's no charge to participate. We have some people that just come for the Derby, and that's all right, too. They still would need to check in and get registered. But then we try to incorporate and have things for kids of all skill levels. So we'll have prizes for the smallest fish as well as the largest fish and the most fish or the first fish caught, things like that. And then we have prizes that go along with those. So people hang around. And the Derby runs until noon. So it's just a short little time frame there, and they can fish around in Discovery Pond. And I like it because you get a lot of hooks in the water, and it's almost like a fish survey. You see what's really hanging around out there.
Yeah, and it's usually a pretty good turnout, is it not?
Yes. I believe right now we have right around 100 kids are registered, and we'll have more that will show up tomorrow, and they still can show up and register tomorrow, the day of the event. That's no problem.
Yeah, and I think it's fantastic, and there'll be plenty of pictures and all that stuff out there. And probably not too many trout left out in Discovery Park, is it?
You know, the trout fishing's been a little slow. I think there have been a number have gone out, but they put 1,000 in, and I know 1,000 haven't been caught yet. I think last year we had one kid caught a trout during the Derby.
Wow.
So, that's a possibility. So we have noticed that there's a koi swimming around out there.
Oh, really?
I don't think it's natural. I think somebody, had something that needed a new home, so they thought.
they
So it
jumped
ended
it
up there.
up.
But it looks like it's about a foot long. So if you see this bright orange something glowing and swimming through the water, go ahead and try to catch it.
Yeah.
And if you catch it, please don't release it back into the pond. I've heard they're very tasty. So
Right. So why don't we just call that the special prize fish?
That's right.
Put, special prize for the first one that catches the koi.
That's right, especially if they keep it. So
Right. So anyway, you're going to be doing a lot of showing people how to put bait on and all that. So if I bring you up a bunch of leeches, you're going to show them how to put leeches as she squints her face and goes,
I've never put a leash on a hook, but I'm sure I could do it.
You know what? I have some of the biggest, baddest, muscled up biker construction guys come into my shop. Hey, what happening, Jerry? Well, your leeches are working real good. Leeches, they ain't going on my hook. Ain't good.
They don't want to mess with those bloodsuckers.
They're not the bloodsuckers. It's not going to go for your throat or something, But and the salamanders too. I got the salamanders in it, and they look like baby crocodiles. They're huge. And they got a long tail on them, and they're like, well, how do you hook these up? Well, you just lip hook them. You just got to grab them. Like, oh, you got to grab them? Well, they're not going to get on the hook themselves. Hey, salamander, get on the hook, please. Please,
They're not going to do it themselves.
And believe me, they don't look like the Geico lizard.
No, it's not,
And they barely scream or bite, so don't worry about that.
And they don't have claws, so they're not going to attack you.
No.
Jerry, do you sell a lot of green worms?
I had in the past. We looked at supplying green worms, but the problem with the green worms, or as we occasionally call them, is stink worms, because they really stink really bad. I remember one time I had like 30 dozen of them. We went out and dug them up, and we had put them in a bucket, and I put a lid on them because you can't refrigerate them. They got to stay in mud. So we had like a 5-gallon bucket, put a lid on it, must not have had the lid secured, because I come in the shop the next morning, and it looked like that scene from Indiana Jones where all the snakes are all over the... It was that with stink worms all over the shop. 5 a.m. I said, yep, if I can't package these, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'll tell you where you can go dig them up, but I ain't going to sell them. It's just...
I find them here and there. I've always had good luck fishing with them, but I learned to wear rubber gloves when I mess with them, because it doesn't wash off
No,
very
it does
easily.
not wash off.
But,
it stays on there. And it's a good bait. I know a lot of guys go out, you can just dig them up about where I'm from, up there in Wilton. There's Mud Creek, Sugar Creek and all that. If you go out there and dig around the base of them trees in the mud, you'll pull them up. And it's a specific tree, and I don't want to get this wrong, but I think it's a
catalpa tree?
That's it.
Okay,
That's the
I know.
word.
Yeah,
I always want to say tapioca, but I know that's
close enough.
I know that's wrong.
We call them cigar trees. We tell, because these are cigar trees. They've got those big long seed pods.
Big long pods.
It's really a pretty common tree, but a lot of people aren't familiar with it. But it likes the river bottoms out there.
So, hey, anyway, we are on board here. We are talking to our good friends from Muscatine County Conservation Board. We're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
I'm supposed to play something now, ain't I?
Well, you can just do a speaking piece.
Yeah.
Sounds like a place to fish or biting down at the bottoms. This is Randy Brewer from the Outback Bait and Tackle Shop. When you're ready to go fishing, to hit the river and local fishing holes, come and see me. I've been fishing our local areas for over 40 years. I'll be able to set you up with the right bait and tackle for our fishing holes in the area. I'll even throw in some of my experienced fishing advice. So before you head out to your fishing hole, come see me at the RB's Outback Bait and Tackle, located 16114 County Road X61 here in Muscatine. Call me at 563-506-0490. Sign says 9 to 5. Call anytime after. We'll get your bait.
Let the Sicilian Pizzeria of Wilton treat your family to dinner tonight. Their dough is made fresh every day with only the freshest ingredients, so you're guaranteed to taste the difference. offering classic specialty pizzas like Sammy the Bull, the Palermo, the Gladiator, the German, the Viagra, and many more. Try one of their killer subs, calzones, or pasta dishes if you're looking for something different. Make sure you start your meal off with one of their mouth-watering appetizers, Asiago tomatoes, cheesy garlic bread, or their famous seafood bruschetta. Call the Sicilian Pizzeria in Wilton for pickup or delivery today. 563-732-9396. Open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Oh, I better look. I know you had a guest over there. I better click that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Should go to the doctor for that. Sounds kind of rough.
yeah, I do what I can do. But hey, anyway, I want to get on to one of my other sponsors here, is Sicilians. What they might not know is Gary's opened up a smoker in there, and I tell you what, I had the pulled pork sandwich the other day, and man, it is fantastic. He's doing ribs, he's doing chicken, he's doing all this with the smoker, and then we talked about maybe the sides are going to be like a smoked macaroni and bacon thing, so I got to pull the sit-up bench out of the closet there, and if I'm going to keep continuing eating like this. But I tell you what, and another thing we got going on, that's my redneck roots coming. I'll tell you what.
Sounds like you're from Missouri.
Yeah, well, most of the intellectual conversations I ever have in my life start off with the sentence, "By God, tell you what." But anyway.
Most of mine started out, "Hey, you know what?"
But anyway.
And other conversations I can't say on the radio.
We have just started this week. We are carrying fresh Sicilian subs in the bait shop. We have them in the pop cooler, not in the leach cooler or anything like that. These are pre-made subs, and they're fantastic. They're $4.50 a piece, and they're good 8-inch subs. And they get ham and cheese, pepperoni, roast beef, all that. Fish and grub, fish and go. Get your leeches, grab your sandwich, grab your soda. Don't have to stop at Casey's, please. And just get them right there. But yeah, we're just gonna trial run this and see how it goes. But other than that, I think they're fantastic.
Well, if I see your gut getting bigger, I know where they're going. You're eating the profits.
Oh yeah, that's no problem.
Get out there and get one before Jerry gets back and eats them.
Absolutely. But stop in and see my good friends in Sicilia, and make sure you stop down and see my good buddy Randy. We've tried to get him on the phone today, but we're having a little technical issues down there.
Yeah, he's not answering.
Right. He said they were pretty close. He said that the gates were still shut down there at Big Timber, but the water is dropping on the Mississippi. So hopefully, he's got a little inside information. Hopefully they'll open up sometime this weekend. They just haven't made an official announcement yet. They still got to clean the parking lot and stuff like that. But hopefully we're done with the flooding stuff on the Mississippi River. But anyway, if you got kids, and I'm not talking about parents, I'm talking about grandparents, talking about whatever, you got kids, come out tomorrow to the Discovery Park, see my good friend Dave Bakke and Melissa. They're going to be out there doing the fishing derby.
Yep.
Now, we only do one in the summer, or do we do one in the fall?
Right now, we just do one in the summer. It's always right around the 1st of June.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. And I think,
we're not into June, but we're close enough, we figure.
So we'll kind of get off that a little bit, and let's talk about the Discovery Center itself.
Okay.
Now, that's a great summertime activity that doesn't cost nothing, right?
Correct.
They come out there and look at all exhibits, and you got pretty big fish tank out there with some pretty big local fish. I mean, I tried throwing my rod in there, but then they got all touchy about it.
I don't know. We feed them too well. They probably wouldn't bite anyway.
No, I could hook them.
You think you could? Okay.
But anyway, it's not only fish, but the reptiles and the birds, and you guys always have a lot of hands-on. Well, I wouldn't say hands-on demonstrations, but you guys are demonstrating birds and snakes and stuff like that. So if somebody wanted to see a list of your summertime activities, is that up now?
It should be on our website.
Okay.
And it's just MuscatineCountyConservation.com.
Mm-hmm.
We tried to find a longer name for it.
Right. Well, the thing with Facebook, once you get into that and you lock it down, it remembers it for you.
Yep.
And you do have a Facebook page.
We do have a Facebook
I check that quite
page
often.
Good.
Salisbury out there, you guys just put in the new bridge out there. I'm a little PO that you guys took out the old, because I went out there crappie fishing Saturday night, and my old bridge was missing. Right around them old piers was where I go always find the crappie.
That
I
was
couldn't
all the
find them.
best.
And then you exposed a secret little crappie hole I had. So I don't know. I'm going to take these all back now. Forget no. No, other than that, no. You guys have done a good job. Got the new bridge out there. You have cleared a lot of timber away on the one roadside. Makes it a little bit more accessible.
Yep.
But the rocks, watch the rocks.
You've really got to be careful on those.
They're kind of jiggly.
Yeah, and that's just part of, when they do roads along water, especially when we get floods, there could be a lot of erosion. So they use that big erosion
Erosion
stone,
controls.
But if people want to walk down onto there, just be careful and take your time.
How old was that old iron bridge up there? I mean, I remember when I was a boy, and that was a long time ago. That's back when TV only had 3 channels. Yeah. And you had to use the vice grips to
turn the look because the knob would break off.
Exactly.
Yeah, you started with the Andy Griffith show. I remember seeing those when they were on originally. So that was a great memory there.
Right.
No, the bridge, nobody really seems to know. I'm guessing it was built in the 1940s. Because before that there was, and in the woods there, just a little bit north, you can find the old bridge abutments from an old county road. The Salisbury Bridge was there. The old Salisbury Bridge was put in there in the 1880s. And so the road used to go back through the woods and curve back. But that old iron bridge you're talking about, I'm guessing it went in around the 1940s. So.
Oh, that was you?
I made that sound.
I was going to say, is there a boxing match going on?
That's what I thought.
There you go. That was Melissa, whatever her little thing was. So.
She was just throwing something at Jerry's chrome dome there.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But other than that, like I said, it's always a good time out there to fish and derby. Take the kids out. Looks like beautiful weather to be out there.
I think
so. Are you guys doing a lot down at Deep Lakes Park this year? I mean, I've heard I've heard your name before. This is the first time I ever met you. But I always thought you were a younger guy or something like this. This young stun buffing out there doing the kayaking and all
That's
that.
That's right.
So, but no, you. Let me get this right. You guys do a kayak thing, or you take the kayaks down and you show people how to use them in deep lakes?
Yep, a couple times a year we do kayaks, and we take all our canoes down there as well. And those are just an open program. People can show up, and if they want to go out and paddle, or if they want to learn how, we can teach them. But sometimes families just come down and they want to go paddle for half an hour, and that's cool. Bring them back. And
you also do that, I think, on the Cedar River. Well, not the kayaks, but I think the canoes.
That's a little different. Yeah,
That's a little different?
Those people can rent the canoes for float trips on the Cedar River. And we shuttle them up to Moscow, and then they float back down to Salisbury. So they park at Salisbury, so they end up right by their cars.
Right. And the last couple of years it's kind of been a float and push.
At times.
On the Cedar, float, get out, push it, float, push it.
Or earlier in the year, it was you had to be watching so you didn't go sailing on past when the water was high. So.
Drop you off at Moscow and you end up in Keokuk. Yeah, that's the way it does. And it can get like that. It can get like that at a moment's notice, and it's down right now. But anyway, as we wrap up the show here, like I said, we're running a little long today, but, it was well worth it. So anyway, get out there, get some fishing done. I'm going to tell you right now, Cedar, local waters, stink bait's been working real well. BJ's is my new stink bait that came in, and we're going to have the owner of BJ's on next week, and we're pretty excited about this. Me and my buddy are going to try to go out tomorrow night. He's going to use Sunny's, and I'm going to use BJ's, and we're going to see what it's all about. Squid, I told you about squid. We've got squid. I got the reports coming in. They're working very good for cut bait right now for the catfish. Last thing before we slide on out of here. Remember last week, Dave, when I told you the little story about Randy calling up saying he had a customer that wanted to use a cast net?
Yes.
On catching bluegills?
Yes.
Well, I called the DNR, Joe, the DNR agent from Muscatine. I left him a message Thursday. I said, "Hey, Joe, this is Jerry. I just want to double check to make sure that I'm right, but it is illegal to catch bait or game fish with a cast net. If you could, give me a call back." So a couple days went by. He's a busy guy, and he called me Saturday afternoon. And he said, "Hey, Jerry, this is Joe. Yes, you were right. Yes, it is illegal to catch fish with game fish with a cast net. You wouldn't happen to know the guy's name, would you?" I said, "Well, no. It was actually a customer that was in Randy's shop down there, and he had asked questions. So I really don't know the name." He goes, "Well, funny enough, I just busted a guy out of Salisbury for catching bluegill with a cast net. So don't think everything I tell you on the radio is just jokes or that. I mean, I try to tell you the stuff to keep you safe and out of trouble out there. I hate seeing guys getting busted because they're uninformed. If you got questions, ask me, ask Randy, ask any bait shop. Just ask, and we're going to tell you. And if we don't know, we have a network where we can call. I can call Randy. Randy can call me. I can call the DNR. We have a network where we're going to get you the right information. I don't want to see you get busted out there. Now, if you know you're doing wrong and you get busted, then you get what you deserve. Okay? You're a knucklehead. Knock it off.
Yeah, don't call the show.
Well, they can call the show, but I'll tell them on the show.
Well,
you're a
knucklehead from
knucklehead.
Florida, he keeps calling up here.
Well, I think we're seeing some Havana Star is on the rise.
Oh, no.
But anyway, I'd like to thank my friends out here, Dave Baki, and Melissa. I'm sorry I didn't catch your last name. Lemcow are going to be out at Discovery Park tomorrow, putting on their fishing derby. Go out there and enjoy. If you can't make it to the fishing derby, at least take some time this summer and stop out to the Discovery Center. It is really neat. They've done a first-class job, and we are lucky in Muscatine County to have something like this. It's educational, it's also informative, and it's also fun. So if you got time, get out, go to the fishing derby, go fishing a little later. It's just, it is one of the cheapest family fun activities that you can do, and you don't need a smartphone to do it. Yep. And you don't need a bunch of expensive stuff, and you get to find out who your kids are, and maybe your kids get to find out who you are.
Yep. Exactly.
In a good way. Now, I remember fishing with my dad. I thought, you're making too much noise. I can't get your name on it. What? You know what? I had all this stuff till I had children, and now I can't find nothing.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah, it was a different age back there.
Sure.
So anyway, for Brother Dave Stiles and me, Jerry Provence, I'm going to slide out of here, and we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Jerry will be back next Friday, right here on the Voice of Muscatine, to talk about fishing, life, and even a few jokes. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here next Friday. Jerry's Bait and Tackle Outdoor Show on the Voice of Muscatine.
Well, I think I got a big one on the line, Jer.
Gonna need a bigger boat.
But I love to fish.